Yes, you. Imagine for a moment it's 1937 and you're exploring the mouth of the Umflozi River, and all of a sudden you see a large scaly creature on the riverbank. But as you approach it, the creature immediately notices you and runs back into the water, never to be seen again. Quickly, you run to where this beast was and see some footprints. You measure them out and find they were 16 inches long and it had a stride of 4 feet. This was the situation Alko Lewis found himself in. The Russian explorer was in South Africa in 1937 when he saw this bizarre creature and described it as a dinosaur-like animal that eventually got named the Silwane Mazzi, with the cryptozoologist Ivan Sanderson claiming it was a hadrosaur, specifically Anjanabia, a small hadrosaur from the late Cretaceous of Morocco. The story of large dinosaurs like this creature in Africa isn't uncommon during this time period, with other creatures such as the Kasai Rex and Mokele Embe being prime examples. These stories of dinosaurs in Africa are a product of their time, with many people, mainly in the West, believing that Africa was an ancient land that still had prehistoric animals like dinosaurs. While the initial story of the Silwane Mazzi is quite interesting, it's pretty obvious that there's little to no evidence supporting the validity of this account. This story matches the description of other dinosaur-like cryptids from this time period, and I'm just gonna let Kingfisher explain this as he needs some sunlight.
The issue with the majority of dinosaur cryptid sightings lie within the way that they're described, which is incredibly retrospective and more of a product of what was known about dinosaurs during that time. Testimonies often detail seeing animals that drag their tails and walk with an upright posture, traits that we now know dinosaurs did not possess. If someone from back then were to have described something with feathers, like the Partridge Creek Monster, then we might have something on our hands. Unfortunately, these tales are often simply the results of American and European explorers sensationalizing an encounter that they may have had with a smaller reptile to gain some notoriety back home, and often lack any substantial evidence.
Many of these dinosaurs can be explained by natural occurrences. The Silwane Mazzi is a bit more difficult. Some critics of its existence state it's a rhinoceros because of its 3-toed foot. But shockingly to everyone watching this video, hadrosaurs and rhinos have extremely different feet, with the 3 toes being their only similarity. While performing research for this video, I found an account of Alko Lewis watching a tribal doctor making some marks in the sand, similar to the 3-toed marks mentioned earlier. The name of this cryptid even makes me question its existence, with the Silwane Mazzi being used by certain Bantu peoples to talk about crocodiles, but if I'm wrong about that, please feel free to correct me in the comments. Finally, Anjanabia being mentioned as the true identity of this animal is extremely suspicious, with this small hadrosaur being all the way from Morocco. And even if it did survive the KPG mass extinction, it would have evolved during that 66 million year time frame. Ultimately, all of these factors combined lead me to believe that either our good friend Alko Lewis saw a crocodile at the mouth of the river, or this entire account was made up by him or someone else later down the line. This is the first and only cryptid I can find that is associated with Alko Lewis, and I couldn't find any major publications of it when he discovered this beast, which leads me to believe this creature was never seen, with the only accounts being from Alko himself years after the fact from a missing article called I Saw the Monster at Umflozi Lake, which is only referenced in one cryptid wiki and 2 Japanese websites. Potentially, someone attached Alko's name onto the Silwane Mazzi to give it some sense of credibility, and while the creature most certainly didn't exist, it's the only example of a hadrosaur cryptid I could find, and even if Alko Lewis never saw a creature like this, it's an interesting look into cryptids of the time period. But with all of that out of the way, thank y'all so much for watching this video. I know it's very different from the regular content that I make, but I had a lot of fun with this and I hope y'all did too. I hope this video, the Jurassic Park novel video, and the other content I'm working on began a new era for my channel, as I'm now really putting effort into making variety dinosaur content and maybe some stuff beyond that. Please remember to like and subscribe as that helps me out immensely in the algorithm, and comment if you have everything to say. I love reading all of y'all's comments. I have a Discord server, so please consider checking it out, and a channel membership, so please take a look at that. And finally, thank you to Kingfisher for appearing on this video, and make sure to check him out. But I don't have much else to say, so goodbye y'all. Have a nice day.